you need to speak because else we get a lot of feedback. So we still have another 3 minutes before everyone shows up. So I'll give everybody some time here.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to like configure my headphones, you know, so I don't have to listen
Joshua,
to crazy
another 2 minutes.
feedback. But yes, I concur. Trying to find the setting.
I'm worried.
Just 1 more minute, guys, and I'll start this. Give everybody a fair chance here.
Mi Jerman, esta es Jerman, mi. Sí.
We should have a little interlude music going on, in the background.
How's that? Not so good. I'm not much of a singer. I'm a better dancer.
I'm kind of stoked. We've got 36 people so far,
Great.
with more to
Hopefully.
join, I guess.
Quite a bit, because you know, it's really great. Really great.
Here we go.
And I'm going around muting you guys. All right, it's 1 o'clock. So thank you, everybody, students and faculty and everybody that's taken the time on their holidays, not me, to come in and talk about your program. I first would like to acknowledge that VCC is located on the unceded and stolen territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. They've been stewards of this land for time immemorial. I want to give a special thanks for allowing us to have this meeting here. Okay, I know we're not all on that land, but maybe take a moment and think about where you are located. Mute people, please. Okay, there we go. Great. So what we're doing here today, I'll just do a quick intro and then I'm kind of done, which is fine by me. Oh, can you guys mute? Okay, because the people that are talking, sorry, I'm trying to mute people as I see them. But so you are first year students and either definitely coming into second year or thinking about coming into second year to do the diploma. And we have 3 instructors here. Bruce McGarvey, he teaches the civil and structural second year. Michael Snow is the architectural teacher for second year, and Ronald, I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Sorry, Ron. It's a lot of squares. There we go. And Ron Palma is the instructor for second year steel construction modeling. So really what we're going to do here is each instructor, I don't know who's going first. I don't know if there was a message sent about who goes first, but whoever wants to go first is whatever. They're going to talk about their program and what they do and how it looks for second year. Please mute yourselves, guys, because I'm still getting a lot of feedback and I'm trying to mute as we go along here. So that's it. That's all I'm going to say. They're going to give a lot of information, and then I keep talking, right? And about the program, and then there'll be a little bit of time afterwards for questions.
Yes, we had architectural to start.
Great, okay, I'm gonna mute. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, Josh. All right, so for those who've not met me or heard of me, my name is Snow, and I'm studying here diploma class. Next year, we are consolidating our courses compared to what we've done in previous years into, I think it's three different terms. Kelly, is that what it is? I think 3 different terms. My course focuses heavily on the Revit and the BIM side.
Michael,
Yeah.
your microphone is coming in sounding like you're underwater. Could
That's it.
you talk into it or switch microphones?
Yeah, I will. Thank you very much for letting me know. Thank you for that.
Can you hear it now? Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Way
for that.
better.
Thank you. All right, so I'll start again. My name is Michael Snow. I teach the second year architectural diploma class. My course focuses heavily on the BIM aspect of it, the Revit aspect of it, and follows the first year architectural certificate program. Next year, we'll be consolidating. We start off in a different order than we normally would. We start out with construction assemblies and some small drafting stuff. And then we get into single family residence. I'll give you some examples in a couple seconds. There's a single family residence course 1 and 2. Then we get into a multi-family residence. And then of course we get into right. Sorry. Thanks, Kelly. There's one more there. And then we get into, of course, our capstone. I forgot to mention that we start off, the group of us all start off as in our capstone, not a capstone, sorry, it's our integrated BIM project in September, which is actually quite a fantastic course. I'm actually quite happy with both of them at the end. I have some examples and I can field some questions. We cover everything in my course from residential zoning to
स्टूडेंट आईडी नंबਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰ ਰੱਖਿਆ
sorry, residential zoning to the BC building code as it's come out to right now. We learn about how they are applied in the single and multifamily areas and how the design process goes through that. I get some examples.
GPA
Michael, I had to mute you because I muted everybody and now I can't
Gotcha.
unmute you. Thank you so much.
Gotcha. No, sorry about that. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks so
All right.
much.
All right, so I have some examples of what we do in the throughout our year. We have an integrated BIM project that we start off at the middle of the year. Bruce will also speak to this on his half. We integrate all 3 or 4 now, all 4 different technologies in the group, and we create a single building based on all the different disciplines. I'll bring up an example. Can I share my screen? Is that okay? All right. So this is an example of our integrated BIM project. You'll get into learning how different phasing aspects works in Revit. You'll get into, elevations, how to present drawings, how to work with other people in different areas. This is an example of this year's class, and this is their actual work in Revit and Enscape.
You're not sharing, Michael.
I'm not? Hold on. Oh, hold on a second here.
Yay.
Sorry, I thought I clicked on it. And my screen's gone blank. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Thank you. All right, so I'll go back. So this is my screen keeps cutting out. Sorry. Hold on here. All right, so I can't share right now. Hold on a sec.
We're seeing the exterior perspective north view rendering.
Yeah, for some reason my monitors are cutting out. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. This is an example of what the building I think it was a 7-week course there, Bruce.
Yeah, 9 weeks.
9 weeks. Okay, hold on here. For some reason my screen is crapping out. It's blinking on and off, and I don't know why. So just give me a second. I'm going to switch monitors. Actually, tell you what, can I come back? No, I can't see my screen right now. Great, live demo.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
you
civil,
can come
civil
back.
structure
You-
was
you can-
next.
Yeah, you could fix it, Michael, and then come
Yeah,
back. There's
I'll
no
be right
problem.
back. I'm
Bruce, are
sorry.
you ready?
Sure.
Great. Okay, thanks for coming in. And then Michael can go after. Thanks.
Afternoon, everybody. Most of you don't know me. My name is Bruce McGarvey. I've been with the department now for about 10 years, and I teach the second year civil structural, mostly structural. Can't help it, but just being an instructor, I have to share my screen. So this is kind of the progression where you're at right now. You're here. You're about to finish up your level 2 at the end of November, and then you'll be going into level 3, where we're going to introduce you to 3-dimensional modeling and integrated BIM. Well, not integrated BIM, just BIM. Now, the second year is what we're talking about. The first 2 months, we do this integrated BIM project. So everybody's involved with this, and it's a multidisciplinary, multi-member team. So there'll be an architectural team of 2, 3, 4, 5 people. There'll be a structural team. There'll be a steel modeling team, and there'll also be a mechanical team, and they all work on the same building and will integrate those models together. After that, in November, you'll start your second specialty, is why you're here, to choose which one you would like. And that goes for 4 months, where we continue the training in building information modeling, 3D modeling, but introduce you to a second specialty. And then finally, in March into April, we'll do a capstone project. It's a project where you will integrate and apply both specialties that you've learned. You'll also integrate all the learning that you've learned over the 2 years into one project. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to do a spoiler alert. The second year diploma has been recognized and accredited, national accreditation by Technology Accreditation Canada. So that is recognized across the country in every province except Quebec, always a little different. And so if you have your credentials, they'll be recognized here by ASTTBC, which is the Association of Science Technologists and Technicians of British Columbia, and all of the sister associations across the country. So if you want to move to Alberta, if you want to move to Ontario, if you want to move to Nova Scotia, your credentials will be recognized. So that's pretty cool. What can I tell you? So my colleague Michael talked about the integrated BIM project. Let me show you. Got a lot of windows here, so please be patient with me. There we go. That's the one I want to show you. Hopefully you can hear the sound. This is the integrated BIM project. For a few years ago, one of our students did a 3D flyover of the building. This is the exterior. It's actually located, it's a real building. It's a real project that was done, I think in the early 2000s, about 2005, 2008, somewhere around there. And it was done in Revit. It was done in BIM. The architectural team, the structural team, the mechanical team, they all modeled this building And so that engineering design team was generous enough to donate this project to the college. So we are able to do a real project. This is one of the software packages after the model is done and completed. Then we can use one of the add-on programs that we introduce the students to in the second year of how to do this. Pretty cool. So that was the exterior. Then he'll nip into the interior here. Brace yourself. We're going to go through the class. Oh no! Okay, it doesn't break. And then here's some interior shots. You can see a lot of the stuff there. So that's pretty neat. This is oh, let me stop that. So that's kind of what the integrated BIM project is all about. Now let me tell you a little bit about civil structural. There we go. So I like to start with what some of our previous graduate students who have graduated, some of the projects that they've been able to work on. If I get this to work properly, there we go. So what kind of projects do civil structural technicians work on? Interesting to know. So here's a project that you're all familiar with. That's the Canada Place cruise ship and convention center that was drafted and modeled by graduates of VCC. The Vancouver Public Library, also done by VCC graduate. The drafting for the Capilano Suspension Cliff Walk, done by VCC grad. BC Women's and Children's Hospital. So you get to work on facilities like big hospitals and whatnot. Evergreen SkyTrain stations. These are all projects that were worked on by our grads after they left the college and started with the firm they were working with. Hillcrest Center here in Vancouver, one of the Olympic sites, was done by a VCC grad. The Sea to Sky Highway, all the civil works for that was done by a VCC grad. And many parts of the Vancouver Library or Vancouver Airport. I think everybody in the city's worked on that over the years. Even high-end residential. This is a photo of Lululemon's CEO's residence. So really high-end residences. The new student union building out at UBC, that was done by a VCC grad. That was done by me when I was still in industry. Then we had new Portman Bridge and highway widening. That was a huge project, also done by Kelly Whiteman right here on your screen. That was one of her big projects. So where can the career in civil structural can really take you places? What will you learn in civil structural? You'll learn lots. You'll learn civil technology, drawing theories. You'll learn cut and fill practices, draining, subsurface, road layouts, corridor, land subdivisions, highway intersections. Holy crow, you'll learn a lot. What's civil like? Here's a picture of a road layout with some cut and fill and alignments. You'll learn subdivisions. How to lay out a piece of land for a subdivision. That's just some of the little things you'll learn. Is there more? Oh yes, there's more. You'll learn the structural side, so reinforced concrete, foundation plans, steel framing systems. You'll lead a little structural analysis, and most of what you'll learn critical thinking and team building, interpersonal relationships and communications are really, really big in the second year. What's structural like? You'll hear some steel structures. So this is all the columns, beams, girder system for a structural, and then reinforced concrete. So that's really big in our market. The instructors is Reza Saidi, who's couldn't join us today, but he does the civil part. I do the structural part. We're both very qualified and been in the industry for decades, been in college for 10 years. Some of the firms that support our programs and hire our grads are RJC Engineering, Glotman Simpson Engineering, Bush Bowman, Design Dialogue, WHM Engineers, McElhaney, Hatch, Mont McDonald, and many, many more. So lots of companies hire our civil and structural grads for when they leave. And that is it for me. I am here. You can find my, let me stop sharing here. Stop sharing. There we go. If you have any more questions for me, I'll put my contact info in the chat and you can contact me later. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just going to tag on to a couple things you said there, Bruce. You talked about many of our partners that we have in industry. We have many. And oh, sorry, I'm just going to hang up that call there. Not only do they hire our grads, but some of them offer a fairly nice, what do we call it, a scholarship or bursary or something. So just
awards.
Awards.
Work hard, you might get an award.
Yeah, so just letting you know that, and we're trying to actually get some more awards. So it does help out, you know, getting $1,000 here and there, right? Helps with groceries for what, like 3 days? Kidding. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to tag on to that. Sorry. Thank you for letting me talk.
Are you done, Michael?
I'm here now. I think I'm going to test sharing my screen. I'm directly working off the laptop, so we can see how that works. I can dovetail on the integrated BIM project with Bruce. This will be I just came through the second time running through it. And I don't think Bruce, back me if I'm wrong here. I don't think there's another institution in North America that does a project like this. And this is the closest to a real life project that you will get in the industry. And so what it simulates, because we're all in different technologies and all in different days, it simulates engineering fields being in different parts of the world. So I think one of the original ones that Bruce worked on and that I worked on when we didn't know each other was the Abbotsford Regional Cancer Center. And the architect was actually in Australia. So the Australian guys would do their stuff and you'd come in the morning and say, well, what is this? And that's exactly what happens in this course. You'll find that you'll at the beginning of the course, you're kind of using your skills that you were in the first year. And then as you go and you communicate through weekly meetings on Zoom, you start to understand what it's like to communicate in different parts of the world. And for me, it's exactly like that in the real world. And it's actually even better because some of the places that I worked couldn't afford to do the AutoCAD ACC cloud-based stuff that we do. So you learn about, not only do you learn about buildings, but you learn about collaboration online, how to set up work sets in Revit, and working with people and sharing all kinds of stuff. He showed you one animation. I have another animation that was done from a student this year. I'm going to show my screen in a second here. I got it. Let's see here. Let's see if this works. Screen and go here. All right. So this is his work. It's up. Oh, here we go. So it might be a little slow, so let's see how it goes. So he taught himself Lumion in about 3 weeks, and this is what his stuff was. Now you have free access to Lumion if you ever want it, but this was his animation as he went through the entire project. And so you can see how it was all built up with the 3 different technologies, with the structural going first, and then I'm dropping in all the mechanicals. And then of course, all the walls started to get to build. So that's a good example of what kind of freedom you're given in the end of the course to develop your own walkthrough. Okay, so that's one of the things he did in my class. Okay, so I'll stop. We don't have to watch the whole thing. I'll send you guys the link if you want to see it. Stop sharing. I think I showed you some layouts. The other things that we work on, we work on a single family residence project. Okay, so this is a little different than most. Everyone's given a plot of land coming up in the new year. Okay, and you're given a different type of, everyone has a different plan, everyone has a different plot. And so you work in an area where you create this little community, and you have to go through and figure out what all the zoning bylaws are, what you're allowed to build. And as you go along, you start developing schedules and information and the main part of what BIM and Revit is all about, right? You go through and you create your floor plans and your elevations, such as that, you know, sections, stuff like that. And then at the end, you get to learn a few things. One of the big things during the summer was the Barbie movie. So one of the things we learned, I taught the kids, students to do this year, was to actually make a split out of a building with it without actually manipulating the building. It's just two camera views with some section boxes glued together. And so I got them to use a view template and learned how to use view templates in that, and can create a Barbie thing. So yeah, so this is one of the things we then after that we get into a if you can see. Oh, did I show that? Did I show that one? I didn't show that. My apologies. Hold on. Share screen again. I'll do that again. Okay, so here we go. So this is what I was talking about. It's a little bit easier to see now. So you start out with your plot land here. You get your build and you design all your buildings, learn how to put together a drawing. You have your information and assembly pages where you have all your schedules, your wall schedules, and you build up. This is live data. So if this wall here is in your model, if you delete it, it removes it from the schedule automatically. Same with the windows, all the doors. These are all live elevations in the plan. So you can't actually see them here, but it goes on from there. See how it's all detailed. You move along, you get into your sections and your elevations. And then again, I was saying one of the big things was the Barbie movie. So you learn how to take your house or whatever, split it into two with what they call a section box in Revit. And then you glue two views together, and then you add a view template, and we'll just kind of pink it up a bit. And so they had fun doing this. And so it just taught them different things, how to present, and then some. So this is actually Shannon. She won a scholarship in our class from last year. That was her submission. And then our other submission from last year is Hilda, and we do a multifamily residence type project where you build 3 floors of a unit and then render it and such as that. So this was all done in Revit. It was all done in about a 4-week period. And my students are just getting towards the end of it this weekend to do this exact same thing. So that's what happens in my class. A lot is focused on not so much on this one submission, but a lot of it is focused in on doing work once. I say the goal of Revit is to do less Revit, just like golf, right? You do less golf, right? You want a lower score in golf. You only want to do things once in Revit, and you want to recover as much of that data as you want. So that's one of the theories that I teach in my class. So that's about all I have to say. If you have any questions, you can email me or you can come see me. That's about it. Stop sharing.
Okay. Steele, Ron.
Yes. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. Okay, good. Yes, so my name is Ron Palma. I teach the steel construction modeling program in second year. It is, of course, one of your options for second year. And I won't really talk too much about the integrated BIM project since my colleagues have gone over that. I just wanted to talk a little bit about steel and what we do in there. So you know my name. I've been instructing for about 6 years. I worked in the industry myself, in the steel industry, for about 21 years. My dad's been in the industry for 44 years, and he's still working in there. So I've been kind of around drafting my whole life. And myself, along with a lot of the other instructors here, I'm a graduate of this program as well. In 1996, 1997, by the way. So what is steel detailing? I think a lot of people, when they join, when they find CAD and BIM, I think they automatically get drawn to like architectural, because obviously you kind of hear that word a lot more often than you do hear the term steel detailing. So what you may have thought detailing has something to do with washing cars. We don't wash any cars in steel detailing, nor do we wash any steel in steel detailing either. What we're doing is we're providing detailed technical drawings for erectors and steel fabricators. So we're actually in the end of the manufacturing, right? The manufacturing of structural steel. So these are just some images of what an office used to look like, maybe 10 to 20 years ago. Steel at VCC. I always say that we like to train steel detailers first. So the industry term for what we do is called steel detailing. And we're training you, yes, in the softwares, but I like to say that we train you as being a steel detailer first, and the more traditional type of steel detailing, I say. And it's been around for a long time. It's a trade that it's been around for a long time, and one that's been at the school for a very long time as well. So that's since actually the early 1950s. So in traditional steel detailing, we're going to get into just the basics and fundamentals. We're going to get into steel sections. Steel sections, of course, are all basically the building blocks, the Lego pieces that make up these steel structures. We talk about welding. We talked about structural bolting. We get into the Canadian Institute of Steel Construction Handbook. We talk about geometry and layouts. We get into requests for information, change orders, and some technical writing. Okay. A lot of people ask, do I have to be really great at math to get into these programs and be very proficient at it? Does it help? It does, but you don't have to be a math whiz of any kind to do well in this program. And a lot of people see some of these drawings that you see here. These are little smaller samples of what we do in the program, and think that you have to be really great at math. You actually don't. Some of the software will help us in that regard. Does it help? Absolutely. It does help to be pretty conversant with math, but it's not an absolute requirement. Okay, so this is just a sample of the different kinds of drawings that we'll work in. We'll do some brace columns, brace beams, frames, trusses, and we'll walk you through from the bottom right till the end. Yeah. The software that we use, so the BIM software that we use in steel will be Tekla Structures. It is one of the softwares that are used in our program that's not an Autodesk software. It's actually a Finnish software, by far the most widely used software for steel. And we'll be using that for about 13 weeks total. And you won't get that training for any in post-secondary anywhere in the world, actually. And also, this program, the Steel Construction Modeling Program, is not available anywhere in North America, nowhere else in post-secondary. So this is it. This is the only one. And it might possibly be even the world. The trade is usually learned on the job, and there's no other post-secondary for it anywhere. So we'll start off with creating basic models. There's just some images of some of the models that we'll create, some of the steel section, some of the steel connections. So you're looking at a beam with a rafter connection and some bolts and plates, all welded and bolted together here. And then from the models, of course, we're going to create these drawings that you see to the left from the model, right? And they'll all be tied together. We'll get into that in good depth. On later stages, we'll just increase the complexity and we'll start working in more advanced techniques in the software. We'll work on more advanced projects. We'll get into more geometry and layouts. We'll get into different types of welding called groove welding, which is a little bit more complicated, more complex shop drawing creation, different types of modeling called interactive modeling, and just get into more the steel detailing BIM workflow. So how we stay current, and I think it's important to kind of note how how I make a pretty good effort to stay current and maintain relationships with the people in the industry. So some of our partners are Dalco Consultants, one of the largest steel detailing companies in the world. DBM Vercon, actually where I used to work. I worked there for over 20 years. Exact Detailing, Dynamic Attractions. These are all leaders, in Canada and North America in steel detailing. Clients for some of these companies are companies like Universal, Disney. A lot of the theme park attractions that you see are done by that little company called Dynamic Attractions out in Port Coquitlam. So all these companies have I maintain a close relationship with them. They provide a lot of the input and a lot of the work that you'll actually be doing in the program. Some sample projects, again, just some steel projects that some of the grads have worked on, and I know that because some of these projects I was the project manager of, and a lot of my crew were steel VCC grads, including myself. This is a Transbay Transit Center in San Francisco, California. This is the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, the widening that we did in New York. This is Queens going into Manhattan, a little widening of a tollway. The Matlin Pedestrian Bridge. This is like a trapezoidal steel section bridge, that arch bridge that leaned 11 degrees, and it doesn't look like much from the outside, but it was quite complex in the inside. A lot of very complicated geometry to make this one happen. Not many people can say, but I did one project in Antarctica. It was a little telescope shield. There's a little telescope right at the South Pole, and we created a shield out of aluminum with a company called Oregon Iron Works, and that little section there that you see, they call that the moon door, kind of drop down to shoot the telescope at the horizon to detect dark matter. Don't ask me what that means, but that's what it was for. So it was there to protect the telescope from the elements. If you watch basketball, the Golden State Warriors, their jersey logo is this bridge. So I worked on this bridge on and off for about 7 years. San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge. A lot of grads on this project, probably in the realm of about 20 plus grads worked on this project, including myself. So I like to say, we train operators first, work on the fundamentals, and then work your way all the way to the more advanced things. We apply those skills in a variety of different shop drawings and models. We'll get into the BIM side of things, get into the very basic, and get, of course, increase in complexity into the more advanced ones. Sorry, this is the other option of getting to the other ones as well, of course, the other disciplines. So if you need any other information, you know where to find me. My email is in the chat. Would love to have you in the program. There's a lot of jobs, by the way, in the program. A lot of my students are getting hired months before the program is even done. And that's been kind of the case since I've been an instructor here for the last 6 years. So I already have, as it stands, about 2 to 3 students right now with job offers, and we're in February, so that's pretty cool. Pretty typical for my program to have a lot of the students with job offers or jobs already. So that's all I had. If you guys had any other questions about the program, emails in the chat. My number is what is my number? It's 8534 833 8534. So if you want to give me a shout too, you can call me on Teams. I would be happy to answer any questions. You can also just walk over to my classroom there, room 725. You can try to find me in there. Rolly is there this week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if you had questions for him. But I'm there Monday to Wednesday.
Thanks, Ron. We actually put a little space for some questions today, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, if anyone has any questions.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Joshua.
When and how are we gonna apply for the course?
Okay, I can answer that. I was looking for my unmute. So now that you guys have an idea of what courses or what programs we have for second year, we are going to send out an email to you, and in that email, you are going to choose your first choice and then your second choice. Sometimes first choices get filled up. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes there's room. So we will ask you for a first and second choice. I would say within the next week, because I need to start the paperwork around that, and that takes a bit after you guys let me know where you want to be. And as always, you're welcome to pop into my office, ask me any questions, and we'll get you all sorted out. We're excited because, like, I think it was Michael that mentioned, we do have a restructure of our program. The content is pretty much the same, but it will be definitely better for students, and you'll also get a little reading break in there. Oh no, you won't get a reading break. Never mind. That's for sure. Sorry, I do this every time. I think everybody gets it, but the restructure is really, really good. The courses will be a little longer and a little bit more meaningful. Have a little bit more time to work through it. So that's it. Just looks a little different. It doesn't cost you any more money. That's the key, right? Sorry, Joshua, I answered your question, plus way more.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Anything else you want to
Hello.
ask these experts?
Hello, I have a question.
Great. Is that you,
Can
Stella?
we-
Yeah.
Yes. What is the criteria to be chosen to the first choice in the second year? Like, for example, by academic performance or by lucky draw?
Lucky draw. So here's the thing though. So, and of course you can't register if you're in architectural this year, you can't take architectural the second year as your specialty. You've already done that. So if you take architectural, you might be interested in taking, civil structural or steel or whatever, right? But it really is just, usually we don't have a problem. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes if you do not get your first choice, in the past, we have a couple students that end up getting work. They've already gotten their spot, then they end up getting work. So they do leave the program. Then we can push you into your first choice. So even if you don't get it right away, there's a good chance you'll get it within the year. Because everybody does the integrated BIM project. So does that help, Stella?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Welcome.
I have a question.
I don't know who you are. All I see is 00047.
Yeah. So I'm in the mechanical program.
Okay.
And I found that it's like a really new program. It's like two years old.
Yeah, that's correct.
When was the last time like the steel detailing and the civil structural program had an overhaul in the course structure?
That's a great question, actually. So I can answer the civil part, and then I'm going to let the fellows answer the rest of it. So when I was teaching in the civil, I did a big overhaul 4 years ago now, maybe 5. Bruce, do you remember that big project? So I brought it way up to date. The land development project and the highway work and stuff is up to date. So it's had a big restructure. Recently restructure, and it's probably one of the best civil programs out there, and not just because I did it. I came right out of industry, so I had a ton of experience and stuff, but just because I know the other schools and I know we're kind of up there in our project and stuff. So
the structural end of it, I came out of industry in 2014. So I took 2 years and restructured the whole structural program and then designed the second year diploma so that the integrated BIM project and the capstone is leading edge as far as BIM technology goes in industry today.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you.
Sure. I'll just tell you about steel as well, if you're asking about steel. Steel, so I'm actually, well, somewhat newly out of the industry as well. I left in 2018. The core courses have remained the same because I think they're fundamental core courses that I call, which is welding and bolting and closing standards and intro to steel. Those are all core, but the next level in term 3, those have all been updated. So you're actually looking at using Tekla for about 13 weeks on a variety of different projects, and all of that stuff has been updated as we've gone here. So, and I think I can speak for all of us. I think we're always constantly updating, we're always tweaking, always adjusting, trying to make things as current as possible, which is why it's important for all of us to maintain our industry partners and keep in touch with them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
As for architectural, is it okay, Kelly?
Yeah,
As for
go ahead. I was
architectural,
just going to tag on to one thing, but I can wait.
please, no, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
I just want to let everybody know, we do have a very active PAC, which is a program advisory committee that we meet with a couple times a year. Our PAC advises us on what industry is doing. So we do our best keeping up with the industry needs. Okay. Just so you know where we're getting all this information from, because some of us have been out of industry for a while. So this keeps us connected.
Okay,
Go ahead,
so
Michael.
so for me, I got out of industry in 2022, and for my course, I break mine in. Mine is broken into what you would think is 4 sections. Kind of, you have an integrated BIM. The first single family, multifamily, and the capstone, and the integrated BIM and capstone is handled by Bruce. For my stuff, a important thing for me was making sure that mine was code compliant for this year. So everything is done up to the 2019 building code, which is now going to be updated to the 2024 code very soon, as soon as it rolls out. And then the content, for the single residential is going to roll out in September, possibly with individual plan, what do you call them, floor plans for whatever, meeting the curriculum, still staying with the curriculum, but not having everyone have the same, single level house or whatever, more of a house that's laid out nowadays in the 2000s, in the 2020s and stuff like that. So lots of good stuff that and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. From my point of view, there's always architectural drawings needed, whether it's a structural focus or a civil and structural focus. All architectural drawings are almost all needed in every single project, so you have to account for that. That's all I got to say.
Kelly, I have a question. Can you hear me?
I see a few more hands up. I'm just going to go around the board here. Now I'm hoping not to pronounce your name wrong. Ramito?
That's okay. It's Ramiro, but that's okay. I mean, you told us that we are going to receive an email from you or from other person, and we will be choosing our second year. But what about if I want to quit? If I want to end my program and get a certificate instead of a diploma?
That's a great question. You can do that. You can exit and get your certificate. I believe it's a school that will actually, you're going to get the email, and that is going to be one of your choices, is exit with a certificate. And after that, I believe I let the school know, or you let the school know. Bruce, do you remember year to year what we do? I think I let the school know, or
so I'm asking. Okay, because I asked the same question to the international department last year, and they told me exactly the same as you. They didn't give me a straight answer, so I'm worried about that.
Oh, don't worry about it. I can. Oh, Bruce has got an answer right now.
I hopefully can address this. Yeah, right now at this point of the year, everybody in their first year is being asked 2 things. It could be asked if you're going to intend to return for the second year, and if so, which specialty do you choose? Or are you planning to exit in June? So that'll be part of your response in the next few weeks to the registrar's office. For international students, student visas are given to programs that are 2 years, and that enables international students to get work visas. So they can work up to 20 hours, or they can work, maybe the 20 hours I think might be outdated. So they can work while they were in school. A 1-year program does not qualify. Hopefully, Ramito, that answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
Great.
Sorry, just Karan, did I say your name right?
You can just call me Jazz. It's okay.
Jazz, okay, that's easy
I
for
wanted
me.
to ask why there's no option for mechanical as a second year option.
Well, that is a great question, but there's a couple of reasons that we're not able to offer it quite yet. We will have it as an option eventually. Right now, you know, yeah, it's really hard for me to answer that right now. This is something I am trying to work on to have it as a second option, but we're just not offering it right now. There's a few different reasons, so. Which I'm not going to share right now with the students, sorry. Okay, Carrie. You're muted. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of.
Okay, I got closer.
Yeah, you're a little muffly, sorry.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, you're just echoey, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to hear you. Hopefully everybody can.
Okay, so I can visualize feel, but I'm having a little bit of trouble visualizing what
Yeah, you got a lot of feedback, so I don't know.
everybody's on here, so why don't I write it in the chat if you can join?
Carrie, did you want to hop across to my office here and then ask your question?
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Yep, she'll be right here. Merci.
Hello.
That's better.
So I can visualize steel. I'm just having a little bit of a barrier in visualizing what's involved with civil. If you could please give an example of what it is that you're drawing specifically.
Yeah, I don't have
Or
anything.
elaborate, please.
I can talk about it because I don't have anything. Right, it would take me a few minutes to find some drawings, but I can easily talk about the civil part. So, and it is a tough one for people to understand. Civil, it's like, what's civil, right? So, you learn about the earth, okay? So contours, mapping, and stuff like that. A little bit about the earth material, a little geography in there as well. But then you learn how to design roads. So road alignment, center line of a road, you're designing a road, you're designing the lanes, cut and fill as the road travels, you know, up and down and around corners and stuff. So the roads that you do learn in the program are highways, municipal roads, and a land development. So that's your subdivisions. So you learn about the speeds, sight distance, and while you're designing it. Now we do use the Civil 3D program to design roads because that's what's used in industry all over the place. And let me see what. So the big project that you'll do in both parts is a land development project. So you're going to get a big chunk of land. You're going to develop a bunch of lots, meaning that people can build houses on. So parcels or lots, kind of a synonymous term. And then you're going to design a couple of roads to get to these places, to get to these houses and stuff. So there's going to be 2 roads with an intersection. And it's a pretty cool project. It's a lot of fun. You can be a little creative in there as well, believe it or not, with civil. I love civil. Civil's been my life, so I absolutely love it. I think it's been the best work out there. Then you'll also in the second part of civil, you'll design the pipe works for those roads. So the storm sewers, the sanitary sewers, how, you know, the connections to the houses. So you do get into it quite a bit. There's a little survey bit in there as well, that you actually go out and you survey around the building, just a small survey, level survey, just looking for elevations. So I hope that helped, but if you, Carrie, come in, pop into my office when you can, and I can show you tons of examples.
Sure thing. Thank you.
Of the project. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope that helped. Okay. Rahid.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I want to continue with the architecture in the second year. Is it possible?
What are you doing right now this year? Sorry.
Architecture?
No, yeah, you can't do architecture 2 years in a row because it's the same specialty.
Yeah, but the BIM is different, no? Like the curriculum in the second year is different.
Slightly. Okay, so the integrated BIM project you're going to do in all the all second year, and the capstone you do the same project in second year as everybody else. But the bit in the middle, the architecture in the middle, is it's another specialty, and it's a lot of it you've already learned in first year. So the courses are very similar. The main difference really is they're taught at a higher level of modeling. Maybe Michael wants to speak about that, but we do not offer 2 specialties in a row.
The
Sorry.
accreditation, the national accreditation is based on 2 specialties.
That's correct. Right now you have 1 specialty. If you took civil structural the second year, you'd have 3. Because civil is one thing, structural is another, and we've made it one big program. So, or if you took, or of course, still construction. Sorry, Ron, or still construction modeling. Lots of work out there for that too, right? So, yeah, it's whatever you want to do, but unfortunately, no on the architectural second.
But are you like coming with other programs next year? New ones, perhaps?
Well, I'm still trying to push the second year mechanical. There's just a little couple roadblocks in my way. But so 2025 or 2024, 2025, this coming year for you guys, this is just what we have.
Can there be interior designing?
Oh, that would be fantastic, but that takes some time to develop it. And I know right now there is an instructor that is starting the development work, but it takes some time. It's not going to happen this year, but eventually.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry, I'm not having the best answers for everybody, but.
Okay, it seems like time is up, but
Oh, I
thank
just
you.
want to, I
Go
would
ahead.
like to answer the last hand up there, Donald.
Yeah, hi. I just have a quick
Hi.
question.
Sure.
So this session is being recorded, right? So are we able to refer back to this video if we want to see like the slides that were shown and stuff?
Sure.
Okay.
We can figure out how to do that. We're pretty magical here in CAD and BIM.
Yeah,
We're pretty techy.
I put my name in the chat, and you can email me anytime for the architectural aspect of it. You're more than welcome to contact me or come see me in class anytime.
Yeah,
Kelly, maybe we can put that on the intro to BIM Moodle shell somewhere.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll have Alexander put it on the intro to the BIM. You know, the student Moodle shell, you know, that big one you guys looked at when you first started. Yeah, we'll put it in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question though. Thanks, Donald. Okay. I hope everybody got most of their information that you need, but if not, you know who the instructors are, you know who you can go talk to, and you're always welcome to come and talk to me as well about the program if you're having, you know, I don't know what goes best, right? So I would be more than happy to show you and help you with that. So that's it. Cheerio, everybody. Have a great
Thanks for coming.
afternoon.
See you next year.
I think the
See ya.
sun is
Thank you.
shining.
Everybody, thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you all. Thank you.